Welcome, brothers and sisters. We're back for day 2 and another presentation. I am excited you guys are here. We are streaming live to the One Great Work Network as well. Let's see, we got some people tuned in. We're streaming to Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, a couple YouTube channels actually. And we are live on all those platforms and also Odyssey as well. Give me a sec. And I'm excited for this presentation. This presentation, Initiation into the One Great Work. This is one that I did to a private group that got a pretty good response. People are really digging it. It's hard hitting. It's got a lot of resources, and I'm definitely excited. Trey's the Lion, what's up, brother? Beagle Eye Vision. Yeah, we got some people in here. What's up, Austria? Excellent. All right. So again, I always send people to my Linktree, which is Linktree/Will Keller. All my websites are on there. Freedom Under Natural Law, The One Great Work, Natural Freedom League, all my social media platforms, presentations, and also donation links as well. So I'm excited for this presentation, and I think we need to get in it. You know, today is 10/4, right? We're all still here. There was some pretty big hype with the whole emergency broadcast frequency thing. And, you know, it's kind of sad to me that something like that, it spreads so fast just because of fear. Everyone knows about it. And it's just, it's disheartening to me that something like knowing the difference between right and wrong, or the illusionary belief in government, can't spread that fast in just days. So hopefully we can, you know, turn up the volume of truth and morality and nature to that level, right? So 10/4, obviously it signifies confirmation. 10/4, you got it. So tonight is the real emergency broadcasting frequency. And this is initiation into the One Great Work. Let me make sure that music is off. Everyone can hear me good. Excellent. Hi, Patty. CB, what's up? All right. So, let me know if you guys are liking these presentations, because I call it the Will Tell Truth presentation series. It's something that I'm thinking about doing weekly, where, you know, I put together some slides, talk about some topics, kind of have a progression of ideas. So yeah, we'll check that out. What's up, Brandon, my brother? All right, so this presentation. Yesterday we did rites of passage, initiation through natural law. And it's very much focused in the internal development of becoming a spiritual adult, right? A moral human being, what it means to be human, right? So this presentation is what I see as the next step. Obviously, there's some internal work that needs to be done. If you're not familiar with the One Great Work, you're at the right spot, because we're going to talk about what it is, why it's important, how come people have not done the One Great Work, and, you know, the aspects that surround that, with also solutions, and why the One Great Work is vital to achieve freedom, to end the current human condition of slavery, control, duress, and coercion. And I'm very excited. So let's dive into it. There are only 2 mistakes one can make on the path to truth: not starting and not going all the way. Excellent quote. Mark Passio uses this quote, but it's vital. There are only 2 mistakes. And as I talked about yesterday, with initiation being beginning, and the non-participation of the initiation process is not walking the path. That is unfinished initiation. So we have, and one of the messages yesterday was that there's too many people, especially in the freedom movement, that have not gone all the way to understand what is actually going on in reality, in our current condition, the causal factors, and how to create change and manifest in this reality. So we have to know the problem. And absolutely 100% it is knowable what is actually going on in reality in our current age. So let's get down to the heart of the problem. The fundamental nature of the problem of human slavery is that most human beings do not have a full and accurate understanding of true objective morality. This ignorance leads them to falsely believe that human behaviors are based upon the belief in human authority and are morally legitimate and acceptable when they are absolutely not. As a result, many behaviors which most human beings enact and condone are completely out of alignment with natural law. So the heart of the problem is incorrect thinking leads to immoral action. If you know about the natural law principles, mentalism is number one. It is prime. Consciousness is the prime aspect of existence, of the universe, of reality. So it has to start and change in the mind. So what we got going on today is that thousands and millions of people have been spewing incorrect information, promoting incorrect information, and parents raising their children, or not raising, right? Indoctrinating, speaking into incorrect information. Mainly that human beings are the apex of creation, and certain human beings have a higher authority over other human beings, i.e. government. Used to be kingship in the pharaonic time periods before that. That there are these human beings that have magical powers and extra rights over other human beings. So they can issue commands and the rest of human beings have to obey them. This is literally the definition of slavery. That is a condition of slavery where certain humans are claiming ownership by their deeds over other human beings. And, it's not just human beings, right? It's obviously the animals, the earth itself, right? Government claims the land. Man's law, LAW, land, air, water, they're making that claim that they own that. This is why you have something like property taxes and driver's license and regulations and permits to build on your quote unquote property, right? So they're making that claim, and that is a claim of ownership, and that absolutely is slavery. So freedom is the goal. True freedom is the overarching stated goal. The most accurate definition of true freedom is the ability to exercise one's natural rights without the inhibition of violence, duress, and/or coercive restraint initiated by others. Simply put, expressing your free will or enacting your free will expression unrestricted. So this is a very simplistic, excellent definition of what freedom is. True freedom does not guarantee safety, survival. Shocker, guess what? We're in this reality to experience, to learn, and grow. When I say the meaning of life is freedom for all life, right? I mean, what animal doesn't want to roam upon the earth? What plants don't want to propagate and expand? Freedom is the inherent state of reality, of consciousness, of evolution. Evolution is expansive. This is what freedom is. To grow and to expand. As soon as you restrict freedom or try to control freedom, now you're getting into the realm of coercion, right? Duress, slavery. So, by natural law, just as the physical laws of thermodynamics, gravitation, magnetism, right? You jump off a cliff, you're going to fall. If you're going 100 miles an hour and you drive straight into a brick wall, you're dead. If you touch a hot plate, you're going to get burned. Just as we all know these laws and we obey them, there are laws that govern behavior. The energetic laws. This is the metaphysical laws. So, by natural law, the aggregate freedom of human beings is directly proportional to the aggregate morality of their behavior. So, as more individuals become moral in their deeds, in their actions, this transfers to a more moral society. So as morality increases, freedom increases, and slavery decreases. And of course, as morality decreases, meaning incorrect behaviors, immoral behaviors, or the condoning of immoral behaviors as well, those are actions, right? Then, of course, freedom decreases and slavery increases. It's a very simple formula. A lot of people, I've had a lot of pushback in this formula, right? Natural law absolutely is a science. This is not a woo category. People don't see wind, but they see the effects and they believe in it. When you think about a time period such as, Nazi Germany, and the many years before, Hitler was at the prime time period, the people themselves were ignorant to what it means. They were ignorant to morality. They were ignorant to natural law. They condoned and supported government. So a small group of people, such as Hitler and the Socialist Party, could gain power. Now, if the populace understood objective morality, natural rights, they know that government is illegitimate, a situation like that may have never happened. So what we're seeing today is no different. No different. We are descending that ladder into the abyss of control and slavery. Now, looking at the time period, the last 3 years for the whole pandemic, the socially perceived crisis, that is evidence, that is proof that the majority of human beings in the world do not understand natural rights, do not understand objective morality, and do not understand how reality operates. Natural law. The controllers understand that. This is why the whole globe, from the governmental level, they operated flawlessly in tandem, right? So we say we want something. We say we want freedom. We say we want good health, but there are requirements that must be met to achieve the goals that we say we want. Freedom is no different. So, the requirements for ending human slavery: a deep and accurate understanding of the nature of the problem. A deep and accurate understanding of who the real enemy is, those who stand in the way of the solution. And a deep and accurate understanding of the only solution and how to bring it into real-world manifestation. Now, the solution to any problem is obviously understanding the problem from the very beginning. So we have to make, you have to be correct. You have to have that correct diagnosis. And guess what? It's painful, y'all. It's painful. If you hurt your ankle, if you're hiking and you hurt your ankle, you have to push around the area, the hurt area, to feel if you broke your bone, if you fractured the bone. These are pain points. This is what people don't want to do. We're so timid as a species, so timid and soft that it's, any type of pain scares us. Conscious pain. Okay, this is going to hurt. I need to be prepared. That's being consciously aware that you are about to experience pain. But unconscious suffering, humanity has been entrenched in for thousands of years. See, this is the difference between pain and suffering. Pain is natural. It's inherent to reality. If you want to increase health, you want to go to the gym, there's going to be pain there to break down the muscles, to break down the body, to make it stronger, right? Pain is a great activator. When a woman is in labor, that is painful, also beautiful, right? So pain is part of growing. It's part of reality. These are growing pains that we are absolutely going to experience in this fight, in this war. We are going to experience tremendous growing pains. Now, suffering is different. The actual the definition of suffering is an allowance of an overwhelming amount of pain. So suffering is when the pain is unbearable and it's consensual, meaning humanity is consenting to the current condition of what is going on. They're unconscious of why it is happening. They're unconscious to the problem and absolutely ignorant to the solution. So we're going to dive into these aspects in this presentation, right? Here's a graphic from Mark Passio. It's also on the back of my shirt, right? The slavery of humanity is the problem. Living according to natural law is the solution. So there are only two ways to create change. Only two ways: philosophy and technology. So philosophy, philos, sophia, this is Latin, philo meaning loving. Sophia is knowledge or wisdom. So philosophy means for the love of wisdom. Philosophy is the internal process of contemplating a problem or a question. Birds, they're agreeing with me. I don't know if you guys can hear that. The birds are pretty wild out here. Anyways, so philosophy is vital. This is the internal modality. Whatever the topic or category of information is, there is philosophy there. It's the internal process of using logic and reason and intuition to think, to contemplate, and have introspection on that the issue, on the problem. It always starts internally, in the mind and in the heart. It's processed internally. And then once you come to understanding, then you can activate and implement in the external world. And this is where technology comes in, right? Technology from Greek, technologia, which means technique, method, or system of art, skill, or craft in work. This is the external process of using a tool to solve a problem, right? If you are tired of eating with your hands, you internally contemplate that problem, and then you understand the problem, and you also imagine potential solutions, right? So a fork was created in the mind first. Everything is created in the mind initially. Then it is processed and implemented in the external world and manifested, created as a fork, right? Solves a problem. Now, when we're talking about what is going on in the world, the slavery of humanity, the philosophy of why this is going on, this is where natural law, understanding objective morality and natural rights, this is what I am doing the majority of my work, right? It's philosophical in nature. I'm explaining why we are in this condition. What can we do to get out of this condition, right? This is all philosophy. Philosophy nowadays, I mean, you just think about people who they look up to. What are their mentors? Where do they get their information from? It's sad. It's sad. No one holds high the great minds, the Walter Russells, the Rudolf Steiners, the Nikola Teslas. There's so many that we can go down. Paracelsus. There's so many great minds that aren't even taught in modern education, and that's for a reason, right? They don't want people to think and understand philosophy, because a philosophical mind absolutely will use reduction to reduce and get down to the causal factors. That's what philosophy is. It's for the love of wisdom. There's also action there. You're not just thinking to think. You're thinking to act in the world. So technology is that tool. Once we understand the problem internally, and we do that work internally, and we have a deep understanding of objective morality and natural law, then we are ready to implement that and activate and execute in the real world, and we do that through technology. Now, technology is neutral. A tool is just a tool. Now, it depends on the wielder of that tool and how that tool is utilized in the natural world is what matters. So, of course, a gun can be for self-defense. A gun can also murder someone. You don't blame the tool. It's the person performing the action that takes responsibility and has the moral culpability of themselves, of that action, that behavior. So this is very important. So as within, so without. As within philosophy, so without technology. So the great work, we touched on this in the last presentation, the process. The great work is an internal process of aligning the true self to natural law by bringing one's thoughts, emotions, and actions out of perceived duality and internal contradiction. This is a process of internal alchemy to distill awareness and consciousness by abandoning incorrect and immoral beliefs that hold one back. This is a continual process of self-mastery. This is step one. This is the philosophical stage, the great work. This is an ancient phrase. It derives from the alchemical traditions and the Hermetic traditions and all through the mystery traditions, right? The great work. There's nothing harder or more important than working on yourself, right? To become moral, to act morally in the world. This is the most important process. This is what we are here to do, to lower entropy, to lower apathy, to distill our consciousness to a focal point aligned with nature and truth, to evolve a soul, right? We're not just endowed with a highly generated, grown soul. No. We are here to do that work of self-mastery. So this internal process comes first. We need to recognize a problem. And once we do that, and we understand it deeply, now we can do the one great work. The one great work is the arduous task of influencing others to do the internal great work. It is to help them realize that in supporting and condoning the legitimacy of human authority and government, man's law, that they have actually been supporting and condoning the legitimacy of slavery, and that they were immoral for having done so. In short, the one great work is to get people to abandon their religions, the false and dogmatic beliefs that hold back the progress of consciousness by impeding the reception of truth and natural law. This is what the one great work is. The one great work is the hardest external work to do. We cannot force someone to look within, to set a foot on the path of internal realization, to actualize. We can't force them to do that. But we can inspire them and influence them. This is what the one great work is to do. Now, people say, hey, Will, the dark occults, they influence people. They influence people via mind control. Yes, they are using the knowledge of natural law. They are using the knowledge of how the human psyche and how the human being operates. That body of information is occultism. So if occultism is the tool, they are wielding it and using it for immoral actions. Absolutely. But the influence from the dark occult, right? That's what it is. Sure, there are actions there that are immoral. There's death, murder, for sure. But the majority is influence via mind control, right? We are also influencers. We are influencers for truth, for what is right, for objective morality and nature. We are using the same information, but on the opposite spectrum. And we do this through inspiration. If you look at the social engineers, the dark occultists, right? They obviously control every category, every facet of society, right? Education, media, strength via the standing armies of the police and military. health. They have these huge tentacles that they are operating from. And of course, the people that are operating within those organizations, right, are completely immoral. They're under mind control. But just like the vampire, right, the vampire sucks the life force out of you and operates in the shadows. This is what, government, the social engineers are, the dark occultists. They, just as the vampire, you have to consent for the vampire to come into your home. Into your home. This is the one great work, is educating people, educating the public on human psychology, natural law, the laws of manifestation, the laws that govern our reality. This is what the one great work is. And it's difficult. It's extremely difficult. Anyone that is watching this stream right now and they understand the condition of the world, then Agent Smith is everywhere. The conditioning and programming of the majority of people is so calcified and ingrained. And this generational mind control has been going on for eons. It's embedded in the genetic codes, the blood codes of human beings. So the inspiration, the amount of work that must be done is vast. It is huge. But yet it is absolutely the right thing to do and can be done through an act of our will. But it's going to take numbers. It's going to take everyone listening to my voice and beyond, right? So this presentation is to help spark you to embark on that journey and to give you resources. So, awaken via technology. Most people who are even somewhat awake would tell you that they awakened from researching on websites, watching digital videos, and listening to digital audio. Technology is the tool by which the wielder can influence others towards higher awareness. This is important. I mean, it's 2023, right? I would say 99% of the people that have awakened to what is going on in the world, they received that information by digital means. I mean, my library is vast. Books have had a huge influence on me, but yet still, videos, websites, digital media was the biggest influence. This is the tool. This is the technology that awakens the minds, the sleeping minds of people. So, resistance to initiate. Why? Why is there a resistance to embarking on this journey of the one great work, or starting the internal process of the great work? This is what this section is. So, what is holding you back? One must face themselves with honesty and ask why they are not getting on the battlefield. The factors of hesitancy will no doubt keep one stagnant, and the process of initiation will not activate. Contemplate on these questions, then work through them to do the right thing by contributing to the ending of human slavery. Ready to begin. So I presented this yesterday in my Rites of Passage presentation, the 5 steps of initiation. We're about to get to some real juicy formulas that can be implemented. So let's review this. Number 1, stop lying, especially to yourself, right? Lying always starts within oneself. Then you lie to others. So we need to stop lying. We need to be brutally honest with ourselves. Number 2, stop dreaming. Number 3, learn how to think. Number 4, live in the present moment And number 5, activate the physical body. So, question number 1, stop lying to yourself. Here's the question. Do you really want what you say you want? That's the question. Write that down, sit in front of a mirror, and ask this question to you. These questions can be used in multiple things within life, but we're focusing on the great work and the one great work. So you must contemplate this question, then answer it honestly. Stop dreaming. So what we say we want doesn't just automatically manifest on its own. So we have to have real world goals because they have real world requirements, right? True freedom isn't going to manifest next week. It's not going to manifest overnight. We have to be realistic and grounded with ourselves that this is going to be a lifelong process. This may take many generations. You have to be realistic with yourself on where you're at internally, in your psychology. Observing your triggers, observing the psychological roadblocks within your own psyche, within your own life. So, attainable goals have attainable requirements, right? And this is a chart. This chart Mark Passio used in one of his live shows. It's a fantastic chart, right? So, it's a stepwise progression. It's an evolution of growth, of doing the one great work, right? You have that 0 point where you start. And you have to be realistic and take into consideration that this is a growing process. So it's not just from A to B. Having that expectation that, okay, this is where I want to be. I want, hundreds of thousands of listeners and, hundreds of emails and inspiring and communicating with hundreds of people to do the one great work within a month. You want to go viral next week, right? It is an incline. It's a steady incline where you need to have a stepwise progression. This week, you're going to accomplish these goals. Next week, you're going to accomplish these goals. So we must shift our perspective and attain and shoot for growth, for evolution, right? We need to hit skills required to achieve goal 1, and then a little bit later on down the road, skills required to achieve goal 2. We need to eliminate expectations. Expectations can be a killer, right? Expectations in life in general, right? You expect someone to act a certain way. You expect a video to do something. I'm expecting this presentation to go viral. I don't hold expectations. I know that I need to put together a presentation. I need to study it, make it the best that I can, commit to a date to live streaming this, and follow through and execute and get on here in front of the camera and explain to the best of my ability the concept at hand and interact with the viewership, right? And then after this, I'll set my next goals for either my next presentation or my next project. It's a stepwise progression. So what stories are we telling ourselves? And are they true? This is the step in stop dreaming. Why hasn't one started the one great work? Started the internal process of the great work. Now, this is an incredible formula that one can do. Write these questions down And then you literally sit in the mirror and you ask these questions to yourself. Okay? So this is starting the one great work. We're going to talk about the cons and the pros. So the cons are fear-based psychological factors that stop me from beginning. And the pros on why you should do the one great work, this is based in love. Love-based truths telling me why I should begin. So, what are the cons of doing the one great work? Fears about personal characteristics. I'm not blank enough. I'm not good enough to do the one great work. I'm not smart enough. I'm not skilled enough. I'm not motivated enough. These are questions that one must ask themselves. Or you have fears about skill sets. I don't know how to do blank. I don't know how to make content. Skill with technology. You lack the knowledge. You don't know how to engage in public speaking, organization, make a video, start, right? And fears about worldly attachments. I'm afraid of losing blank. I'm afraid of losing my relationships, of losing money, my career, my house, my life. Very important question that I think a lot of people need to take time on. Your fears about worldly attachments. Excuse me. Fears about resources. I don't have the resources. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I don't have the equipment, etc., etc. Right? These are the cons that we need to ask ourselves and flush out within ourselves. Okay, so what are the pros on doing the one great work? The great work is a requirement for freedom. Our world needs more voices speaking the truth. So my public work will help to awaken others, and in doing so, contribute to the effort to ending human slavery on earth. Absolutely. The more people speak the truth, the more people we can inspire so they can do that internal work. They can align their behavior and become more moral and stop the condoning of slavery and government. And we're creating the ripple effect, right? It's reverberating in the ether. So another pro, my effort inspires others to become involved. My work may inspire others to speak out, who, in turn, may awaken more individuals. This is why I'm doing this work, to inspire you, to inspire people to look within. So another pro, if I consider myself a good person, it's not even a choice to stay silent during tyrannical times. It is to be complicit with evil, to understand what is going on in the world and do nothing and say nothing and not even try to do the right thing. You are part of the problem. Absolutely. Idle hands standing by. That energy is with the negative energy of involution, slavery, and control. So another pro is, if for no other reason, it is simply the morally right thing to do. Absolutely. Doing the one great work it's tough. And like I said, it's a lifelong commitment. I do it. It took me 2.5 years. 2.5 years to finally go public. I started with an audio podcast, 93 Phoenix. did 7 episodes. Then I moved over to video and did video interviews. Then I met my partner at the time, John, and we created Natural Freedom League, the video podcast. And then I did my first presentation at Seed 4. And then, and so on and so on. So you see the attainable goals in my story, right? Over since 2019 till now, right? You see that evolution and that progression that one must take. But before that, 2.5 years before I started, I had to do this work. The number one thing that sparked me for me to make that decision, of course, Mark Passio railing on his live show absolutely was the fire under my ass. But looking in the mirror and knowing my moral obligation to do the right thing, because I deeply understood the problem and the causal factors, knowing it was my duty to truth to do this work and to commit to life. That was number one. Number two was for my daughter. Of course, I don't want her to grow up and have the situation, the current human condition be worse, and have her look at me and say, Dad, why is the world so fucked up? What did you do about it? I don't want her to ask me that question. I want her to know that I tried and I'm doing my best because it's the right thing to do for truth, for nature, for humanity. So these are the pros and cons. Absolutely important to contemplate on and to dive into. Here's a quote by Thomas Aquinas. He who is not angry when there is just cause for anger is immoral. Why? Because anger looks to the good of justice. And if you can live and in injustice without anger, you are immoral as well as unjust. Powerful quote. I'll correct that spelling error when I release my slides. Okay, so know the solution. Now we're going to get into some technological aspects. So the only solution is moral education. This is the only solution. It must change in mind of individuals. And that change sparks and gives the potential to activate and align one's behavior with morality, objective morality, what is right. So to truly educate someone is to lead them out of the darkness of ignorance and into the light of knowledge. The only solution is a spiritual solution by becoming enlightened regarding objective morality and natural law first, then teach others publicly. So the step one is the great work, the internal process of understanding natural law and objective morality, which natural law and objective morality are the foundations of existence. It's the foundation by which everything else in our reality is constructed. I mean, we exist in this reality, and there are parameters. There are governing boundary conditions, the laws of nature that are universal, immutable, binding, non-man-made, the laws of creation, right? And objective morality. We exist in the natural world, and we have a body, and we are responsible for what we do with this body, right? I control its usage. I'm in possession of it. I am responsible for its actions. Responsibility, one's ability to respond to what? To respond to the world. We are going to interact with other beings and other human beings. And as soon as we have interaction with others, now, what is the nature of that interaction? Was there harm initiated? Was there a violation? A violation of someone else's natural rights? If so, then that action or behavior is immoral. If not, it is moral. It's that simple, folks. It's that simple, but this is the foundation of existence. It's also the most ignored body of information. So a true teacher is not the one with the most students, but the one who creates the most teachers. It's not about having leaders. I am not a leader. Mark Passio does not want to be the leader of a whole bunch of people. He wants, and I want, you to lead yourself out of the darkness of ignorance and into right action. This is our job, to inspire others to lead themselves. Lex Rex, natural law is king. Learning natural law and objective morality must come first. Only after that knowledge is so deeply ingrained in humanity that it is considered purely common sense can any system be implemented that will have a truly good effect in a lasting way in our world. First things first. It doesn't, when we talk about living in a free society, living in true freedom, there's a lot of questions that people have. Well, how are we going to handle this situation? How are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? How are we going to do this? Valid questions. But it's completely ignorant to think that human beings cannot organize and work together and accomplish fleets. Right? But before those questions can be answered, it must start with the principles of objective morality and natural law. So I've seen a lot of communities. You got the exit and build. You got all these communities that they want to come together. They want to go off grid, detach from the matrix. Right? All of the systems, financial, cryptocurrency, health, any category, if objective morality and natural law is not the foundation, those systems will crumble. They are doomed to fail. This is first principles. So it's vital. We need to have this knowledge as common sense first before we can have any kind of cooperation, organization that will be successful. So we must know the real enemy. In the freedom movement, a lot of people talk about the social engineers, the dark occultists, the ruling class, the parasites. Well, if we just get rid of Bill Gates, if we just get rid of the Rockefellers and get rid of all these people, right? They go down the list, then everything will be fine. No. Those aren't the real enemy. They are immoral scum. They're scumbags. The social engineers, they are the deceivers. They are the ones that are pulling the strings behind the scenes. But the deceived, the populace, the masses here on the right, these are the ones that are actually performing the behavior. These are the order followers, the police, the military that actually perform the immoral action. These are the ones that will come and rip you out of your house, that pull you over and violate your rights, that will shoot you dead, that drop bombs on people. Those are the ones that have the moral culpability. Now, the social engineers and the dark occultists, don't twist my words. These are evil people. Absolutely, they all should be 6 feet under. But we need to know that the real enemy is the public. Now, I don't mean enemy as in let's go get rid of them. It means that these are the people that we need to try to influence. We need the numbers. We need more people waking up and becoming more inspired and to look within themselves. If you take out any of the social engineers, they will be replaced. You have to understand that this is a bloodline. Their children, these people don't have social security numbers. You will never know their names, right? But even going down the ladder a little bit and looking at, so-called political figures, they will be replaced. So we need to understand that. We need to know who the real enemy is. But it's knowing the real enemy to focus our attention to focus our objectives, right? It's the public. It is the deceived, the ones that are condoning and supporting and performing the actions. So, One Great Workers create dynamic content for the purpose of spreading the message of natural law, truth, objective morality, and freedom to a worldwide audience. A One Great Worker is actively engaged in the ongoing war against the dark occult ruling class. Together, this group of freedom advocates and spiritual warriors continually disseminates and empowering information in a tireless effort to free humanity from the condition of slavery. The One Great Work Network. We are streaming live to the One Great Work Network, created by Mark Passio. Fantastic network of over 75 content creators that, in their own creative expression, are making content to educate the public under the banner of natural law, objective morality, and true freedom. Anyone can do the one great work. Anyone can be a one great worker. The one great work is spreading the message and educating the public on objective morality and natural law. So that's the goal of the One Great Work, is ending slavery one mind at a time. So doing the one great work, there is obviously sacrifice and dedication. Everyone sacrifices anything in life. You're sacrificing time right now to watch me do this presentation. This can be the hardest thing for most people, right? Trying to have time management and work in their schedule. They have kids, they have family, they work, they have their 9 to 5, etc. This is where the internal work comes in, to really sit down with yourself and figure out, I might have to give up my Netflix. I might have to give up this and that. Gardening was a passion of mine. Alchemy, true alchemy, was a passion of mine, of actually making tinctures and spagyrics. And I had to give most of that up. I mean, I'll always have some type of gardening going on, but not, multiple hours a day. That I had to sacrifice that. Of course, balance is important. So it's going to take sacrifice and dedication. So, what are some of the personal characteristics of doing the one great work? True morality. Care for truth. Care for justice. Holistic intelligence. Motivation and drive. Willpower. Attention to detail. Communication. Creativity, and thick skin. So, of course, true morality. You have to understand what morality is, and you yourself be moral. You have to care for the truth. You have to care for justice, for what is going on in the world. Holistic intelligence. utilizing both sides of the hemispheres of the logical, analytical brain with the creative, intuitive right brain, right? And also the heart space and the guts. You have to have willpower, motivation, and drive. Attention to detail. Thick skin, right? I mean, you're gonna get resistance. You need to understand where you're gonna invest your energy into. So you need to be your authentic self. Doing the great work is getting to know yourself on a very deep spiritual level. What are your attributes? What are your passions? Taking these attributes and these passions and utilizing them in some form or fashion within the one great work to dispel the message of morality and natural law. Utilizing these attributes, being yourself. So we need personal knowledge, of course, natural law, objective morality, occultism, vital, the knowledge of mind control and social engineering. These are the categories that we must know. We must know these categories. We need to stick to the causal factors, and the causal factors are in these realms, right? We need to understand the governing dynamics of reality. We need to understand psychology, understand mind control, and the methods of manipulation. Our personal skill sets, organization, time management, communication, general computing, art and graphics, web publishing, print publishing, audio and video editing, troubleshooting, and promotion. All of these are vital to doing the external work. So, activation and application is the next category. So, the art of influence. So, we do not need leaders in this endeavor. For leaders create followers. We need inspiration. By creating art, we can inspire minds to lead themselves out of the darkness of ignorance and into the light of knowledge and action. The internal work of knowing oneself will activate the creative essence, creativity, to become a unique content creator to influence minds and spark imaginations towards truth, love, and freedom. Empowerment is the one great work. We are using alchemy, magic, against sorcery. This is what it's about. This is influence. We are inspiring through art. When someone thinks of art, right, they think that art is just painting, right? Or creative dance. Art is creative expression, period. That's what it is. Art is in earth. Art is in heart. But what inspiration, it speaks to the heart space. When someone wants to learn about something, about a topic, they are internally motivated. As adults, right? I mean, majority of young minds and children, if they're in the indoctrination public schooling, right, where it's forced learning, that's a different story. But as an adult, you just don't learn something off the whim. Something sparked in the mind and in the heart for you to want to go learn about something. This is our job of inspiring and sparking this inside people for them to look deeper. So this very much is alchemy. Becoming a public figure and a content creator is digital alchemy. It is magic. Magic is the art of creating influence and change in the environment through an act of our will. This is what the definition of magic is. And absolutely, the one great work is that. So communication skills, there's many ways that you can express yourself in the art form, right? We have the written word, which books, essays, text blogs, text posts. Moving up, you have spoken word, live speeches, live audio streams, audio podcasts, group audio chats. And then the third category is multimedia, which is live presentations, live video streams, live podcasts, documentaries, filmmaking. Of course, there's a progression. You know, it took me a while, coming from a musical background, it took me a while to get on camera again and to get in front of people in, you know, doing public speeches. But you have to start somewhere. This is why I started with an audio podcast first. And then I worked my way up to live presentations. Actual, you know, doing on stage live presentations and, you know, video, virtual presentations, etc. Right? We want to build up to ultimately showing our face, using our voice on camera to the public. So these are the three categories of art forms. Now here's something that's extremely valuable. I live by these two things: outlines and progressions. So plan and prepare every piece of content with a concept outline and timeline. Remember, many people will have a hard time comprehending a certain message, so keep it simple. A progression is a systematic format to take the receiver of the message from beginning to end. And I'm going to explain an actual progression. I have a sample progression on the right. Folks, give me 10 seconds. I need to let my dog out real quick. All right. Thank you. So an outline, obviously, I said plan and prepare every piece of content. So when you're looking at your goals, you obviously have your overarching goal where you want to reach as many minds as possible, right? You want to increase your exposure and you want to inspire more teachers. Meaning I just don't want thousands of views, thousands of subscribers. I want emails from people asking me, how do I do the one great work? Or you inspired me to take action, etc., etc. I want people to activate themselves. So you have your overarching goals, but every piece of content, this presentation right here, I set an outline for the presentation. Write it out. I write out the presentation. Then I need to start making slides, and I want them in a certain order. And then I need to put it together and formalize it. Then I need to create graphics in this overlay and get it plugged into my broadcasting software. I need to schedule a date and time to present, etc., etc. That's an outline, right? A progression is a stepwise, logical process to convey a message. So the example right here, right, is what is a right? A right is an action that does not initiate harm. Where do our rights come from? Our rights are inherent in nature. Do I have the right to violate you? Do you have the right to violate me? Does government have the right to violate you or me? Anarchy means no rulers, not no rules. What are the rules of anarchy? The rules of anarchy are the non-aggression and self-defense principles. The word government means mind control. Belief in government is inherently immoral. So this is just an example. If you have a topic that you want to talk about, natural law or the human condition of slavery, okay? That is the goal message that you want to convey to people. The progression is the steps of information and knowledge that you must provide to get the listener to reach that level of understanding, your main goal of understanding the current human condition. So you write this out. It's the progression, right? You need to start with, well, what is truth? What is consciousness? What is a right? What is nature? And you work your way up to give all the preliminary information that one must know before they can receive and understand your overarching goal, right? When you do a piece of content or a video, if you're doing it on the current human condition, I mean, sure, you can just rant off a whole bunch of shit if you want, but from a viewer perspective of someone that does not know what is going on in the world, they're going to see that. It's going to go right over their head, and it's not going to hold them at all. So any type of piece of content, writing a book or whatever, there's a stepwise logical progression. Implementing these two things, an outline, schedule of the piece of content, and a logical progression of information, you will make excellent content and you will convey a message very well, right? The logical progression is also part of the Socratic method. So, make them think. Again, philosophy. Here are some very important topics that one can utilize. These are starting points. These are topics to make content on. Who are we? What is the purpose of human life? Why do we hold the beliefs we do about ourselves and the world? Why do we act the way we do towards ourselves and others? What is happening in the world today and why? How can we improve ourselves and the world in which we live? Right? These are philosophical. These are big questions. But from each one of these questions, you can make a plethora amount of content in a stepwise logical progression. Right? Any of these questions will lead you to natural law, the truth, objective morality, and our current human condition. So, utilizing tools. This is a quote. Yeah, I made a quote for myself. I put it on here. Any fool can swing a hammer, but a wise man educates himself of that tool, then builds a magnificent piece of art. Yours truly. So this quote means that we have to understand the technology, modern technology, right? We need to understand how to use a computer. We need to understand how information is expressed on a mass scale. Just as the social engineers, right, are constantly bombarding the message of deception and control and illusion, right? They are doing that through the digital realm, through digital means. We need to understand the tech as well. So we need to understand internet connection. And a lot of people, with the whole 5G network, where there's a lot of almost misinformation around that as well, right? I get the harmful effects, but the battlefield is in the digital arena. So you got to have a good internet connection. You got to, right? You're not going to do live shows or upload videos from Starlink It just doesn't, you're going to have, a 30-second drop off every 30 seconds, right? It's not going to be feasible. Again, ask yourself, do you want to get on this battlefield? Do you want to be effective? Or, fly paper mind. Fly paper mind means you do it a little bit, then you go do something else. You come back, you do it a little bit. You do it lightweight, right? We need to do it. We need to execute and activate. So we need a good internet connection. Right now, I have one of the fastest internet connections you could have. It's gigabit speed, fiber optics, right? Now, sure, I could use 5 gigahertz, 5G router and use Wi-Fi in my house, which I do use Wi-Fi from time to time. But right now, I'm not using Wi-Fi because I have educated myself, and I know that I can connect direct in from outside my house of the fiber optics. So I'm plugged in with the cable. So my Wi-Fi right now isn't even on. I don't have to worry about the harmful effects of Wi-Fi. I'm directly plugged in with the fastest internet that one can get right now. Now, operating systems. The computer is the weapon that we need to use, right? I favor a Mac, the Mac OS. I'm very familiar with Windows as well. Not so much about Linux. It's good to be versatile, but my choice is Mac OS. Now, Apple as a company, they are immoral pieces of shit as a company. Their tool is fantastic, right? So I'm using the computer. I don't have to abdicate. I don't have to promote and venerate Apple as a company. These are the tools that are available that we need to use. So, you got to be familiar with at least one of these. Very good content creation, multimedia creation is done very effectively on a Mac or Windows. Linux obviously has some benefits with privacy. For me personally, I'm not worried about privacy. The information that I'm doing, I want everyone to know about. I just do. My name's Will Keller. That's my name. I'm not trying to hide behind a handle, we need to become public figures, step out into the light of everyone. In the ancient times, the public square was where people would go to promote a message. The internet is the public square. This is how we put out a message. This is also where the mind control and the social engineers are operating from as well. So we need to understand web publishing and creating a website. This is important. This would be your central hub. So wherever you go to this website, and from there, this has all your work, all your links, social media. This is where people can get in contact with you. So you have web hosting. And you have domains, the URL. Obviously, web hosting is where the actual code will be on the internet. This is important because you have to have a website. You have to have that central hub of information. You don't want YouTube as your central hub or Facebook as your central hub because, of course, you can get censored, you can get banned, all your content will be removed. Then no one can get in contact with you. So you have to have a website. Extremely important. And of course, nowadays there are website builders to make it easy on you. Of course, you're restricted with website builders with doing certain type of creative stuff, but I'm providing pathways for one to do their own research. So the written word, there's Substack, Blogger, creating PDFs like digital books. And of course, there's social media, right? Social media is what I kind of see the town square, the public square as. You need to have a social media presence. You need to. Now, how you use that social media presence is up to you. I don't go back and forth and bicker with people. I don't do that. I use social media as a promotional tool. Hey, this is when I'm doing a live show. Hey, this video is up. I just released this production, etc., etc. Right? The FUNL Conference is going to be on this date. So I use it as a promotional tool, and I'm on a bunch of them. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Telegram, TikTok, WhatsApp, MeWe. As many as you can manage. And hey, that can be hard. But I think having a steady presence on as many as you can handle is important. That's just more eyes and ears for you to reach. Aesthetics and graphics. Adobe Photoshop, Lightroom, GIMP, CorelDRAW, Canva, Photopea, and Maya. I have the whole Adobe Creative Cloud, which has video editing, animations, graphics, vector creation. It's like 15 programs all in one. I've been familiar with Adobe Photoshop for a very long time. That is my main tool. I would absolutely say Adobe Photoshop is by far the best program. It's a professional program out there, but it's not the only one. I also do a lot of work on Canva. I am blown away of Canva on what you can do. You can make you can use any type of template. You can make presentations, graphics, animations. Of course, you're limited compared to something like Photoshop. Fantastic platform. It's web-based. CorelDRAW is good. So again, these are pathways for me to present for people to look into. But of course, having good aesthetics and graphics is important. Video editing. Depending on what you do, if I want to edit this video later on, if you want to do shorts, reels, long form presentations, video editing is there. Now, again, I look at all these programs, or every type of program is kind of beginner, intermediate, expert. You can work your way up, right? Realistic, attainable goals. You can start with a beginner program like iMovie or CapCut, which are very good, right? But they are beginner to intermediate. And then you can get familiar with the concepts of video editing and then work your way up to a more professional program like DaVinci Resolve or Adobe Premiere Pro, right? Or Final Cut Pro. Audio editing. Important for audio podcasts, right? You have GarageBand or Pro Tools, Audacity, Logic Pro. Of course, the professional programs would be Avid Pro Tools and Logic Pro. These are paid programs. You can use something that is fantastic, that is freeware, like Audacity. GarageBand is also free on the Mac users. So, audio and video podcasting. These are publication websites to get your podcasts out there. You have Anchor, YouTube podcasts, podcasts. That's an actual type of platform. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Adobe Podcasts. Right? I'm on Anchor and I'm on YouTube Podcasts. Right? What's cool about YouTube Podcasts is this is fairly new. It's actually, I think it's number 2 in the whole podcast realm. They're second to Spotify, of course. Really easy to get on YouTube Podcasts. You just create a playlist, and all the videos that you have done, put them in a playlist and title it podcasts and check the box. Now you have your content on YouTube Podcasts. To get on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, that's easy as well. Go to Anchor and create a free account. Upload your content. Sign up and click the boxes that you want to be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Google Play. Boom, you'll be on there. Anchor is free. Very easy to get on to the number 1 podcasting platforms. Now, AI tools. Now, let me say something about AI, right? A lot of people are scared. AI's been around for, quite a bit of time. It's still very much in the growth stages. It's not going anywhere. AI has some fantastic tools for us as content creators, as one great workers to utilize. This is just another tool. Now, of course, the social engineers are going to use the tool of AI for their advantage, and they're going to use it for immoral actions. But we can also use the tool of AI for our advantage to fight for truth. And there are some incredible tools out there. Getmunch.ai, which is a video editing AI program, which would take long form video, right? Let's say I do a 2-hour video and it will cut up shorts and reels for you to put out. It's fantastic. Midjourney art, very popular. A lot of people have heard of Midjourney. AI created graphics, illustrations, and art. Adobe Audio Enhance. This uses AI to enhance the audio quality of a podcast, of a video, of a presentation. Works very well. Otter.ai. I believe this uses transcripts and can. It's for a written method of creation. Like it can write just content, anything that you want it to write. It can write it out for you. It can also transcribe audio, meaning my presentation right now, it can literally put it down, take the audio and make it into a text format. OpenAI ChatGPT, which I use all the time. I use it for research purposes. Fantastic tool. If you want to learn about mind control, go to ChatGPT and start looking at information on mind control. It will synthesize and categorize some of the biggest researchers or just vast amount of information on mind control. And video.ai, which is another video editing software, right? You can get a whole bunch of video clips and video AI will edit them for you. Then you can, put audio over that if you want. So some fantastic tools. We need to not be scared of AI. AI will never be sentient. It is a program. It will never be blessed and endowed with the divine spark. So moving on, presentations like I'm doing now, right? Apple Keynote, which I'm using, Microsoft PowerPoint, Google Slides, OpenOffice Impress, and Canva, right? You can make a presentation for free on Canva. PowerPoint for Windows comes built in, and Keynote is built in on Mac OS. You can make presentations for free, really good presentations. And nowadays, there's platforms and programs that are just point and click, plug and play. It makes it so simple. Again, I'm giving you these resources to show you, look, there's no excuse. Once you go through that internal process, start diving into these tools and get started. Live streaming and video publishing, Restream and StreamYard. These platforms, they're web-based. They are for simulcasting, for broadcasting. I can stream to 7 channels, 7 platforms by using StreamYard, which is what I'm using now. I've also used Restream. They're both fantastic, right? We have Odyssey, which is a really good alternative video platform. I'm streaming live to there right now. OBS Studio, I am currently using right now, where I can switch my streams for my presentation, right? So OBS is broadcasting software. Free. Open sourced. It's a free program. It's very good. Streamlabs is the same thing. It's broadcasting software. It is also free. They are both fantastic. Download them. Play with them, right? And of course, Zoom as well. Now, evolutionary process. Get educated. I understand that modern literacy, to be literate in the modern day, is to understand technology, is to understand what I've talked about today as the tools. We need to understand that. This is what it means to be literate in the modern day. And if we want to get the message of natural law, truth, and morality out to the public, we need to have technological literacy and to be effective at it from all levels. General computing, right? Understanding our tool and how to get a message out to the masses on a mass level. Now, I put on here how to become the true media and autonomy. These are classes, seminars that one can take that will give you profound insight on general computing and how to become a master media alchemist. Now, the reason why I'm promoting these two, obviously, Mark Passio, the creator of How to Become the True Media, I'm on my 4th year. This class gave me the knowledge and the activation of not only technological skills, but life skills to activate and start making content, which I started making effective content after my 1st year of taking this seminar. It is amazing. Autonomy, hosted by Richard Grove. Another, I have personally not taken this seminar. I've known many that have, and very similar aspect of educating people in the technological realm to have them create a message on a mass level. Richard Grove understands natural law. He has the same goal for true freedom. These two seminars and platforms are rooted in natural law, objective morality, and achieving true freedom. This is why I put it up here. Of course, we need to be autodidacts. We need to understand that we can learn on our own. You don't need to submit a donation and take these classes, right? You can go on YouTube. You can learn by yourself. So that is absolutely a possibility. Now, I think both of these are priceless. I can only speak for How to Become the True Media. How to Become the True Media is one of the most important seminars one can take in their life because of the life skills gained and the technological skills. It's a modern day mystery school. I'll put it like that. So you could go to howtobecomthetruemedia.com, and then you can also check out getautonomy.com. The one great work is becoming a public figure. The modern battlefield is for the public domain in the digital space. The voice of truth and freedom must be louder than that of deception and slavery. The truth must be conveyed to as many people as possible, and by those who have the courage to do so. This means you must become a public figure to effectively and efficiently speak the truth. It will take willpower and care. Willpower to, one, look within yourself and break down the barriers that are hindering you and restricting you from not moving forward, for not activating and starting the one great work. And it will also take willpower and care to do the one great work and to continually do the one great work and to move forward. I've seen a lot of people start it for a short period of time and then throw the towel in and, crap out. We need to activate willpower and care. To evolve, you must get involved. Lex Rex, the law is king. It's time to begin. This is what it's about. If we want to create change in the world, to manifest a condition of true freedom and end slavery, we need the numbers. We need to get involved. The one great work of ending human slavery. This is what we need to do, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you so much for tuning in to this presentation. I hope you have found value to it. My dog likes it, obviously. He's barking in the background. I highly recommend people go check out the onegreatworknetwork.com. Check out the content creators. Will tell truth. I have been doing one-on-ones with people, with inspiring content creators, people that have started to do the work in the beginning stages and that or want to do the work. Anyone that has any questions on the tech, I always make myself available to provide insight or to help out in any way. So please reach out to me. Don't be afraid. And now let's do some questions. I want to know, give me some feedback, some criticism. Did this presentation help out? How's everyone doing? Let me pull up these comments. What's up, Brandon? Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Mandatory. Good seeing you. If you guys have any questions, if you can put them in there now, that would be great. I'm gonna go through the comments and see if there was any questions. The background music. And again, I got my link tree up there. Connect with me on multiple platforms. What's up, Dennis? Hexproof. Anarchist. Good seeing you. There we go. Brandon Spencer. He uses Canva. Brandon Spencer, one of my favorite content creators. You can find him on the One Great Work Network. He uses Canva for his presentations. I love Canva as a platform. I highly recommend it. Brandon makes phenomenal content. Phenomenal content. Highly recommend checking his stuff out. He had a fantastic presentation at Seed 5. Thanks, Patty, if you're still listening. Thanks for joining. Trez the Lion. Good seeing you, man. Scott Keller, what's up, man? Kellers are natural born leaders. You know, my dad, Bill Keller, he had another phrase that he would say. He would say, don't be a follower, be a leader. He would say that growing up. You know, I did this presentation. You know, there's a lot of similar aspects to what Mark has been presenting. I did this presentation about 5 or 6 months ago. His Seed 5 presentation was had a lot of similar characteristics. This is important. This is important to talk about the external aspect of the One Great Work, to provide resources and, you know, show people methods and pathways of creating content. We need this just as much as speaking the truth, right? Speak the truth, seek the truth, and speak the truth. But we need the technological aspect. So what do you guys think? You guys like how I do these live presentations? I'm working on some really big projects. I'll just say it right now. I'm working on my biggest project that I've been working on for a couple years now, and I'm excited for it. It's getting close to being done, but I want it to be done so I can release it all at one time. It's going to be two courses that are going to work together, and one of them will be a course where you can send someone to this course, and it's going to give them the logical progression from open-mindedness all the way to our current human condition. Natural law, truth, metaphysics, philosophy, everything. And of course, my motto is simplify the profound. I'm doing this course for the ignorant masses, the people that do not know this information. And I've been working on it for some time. And then the second part of the course is after someone takes in the first course, then they move to the second, which is, doing the one great work. This is going to be free to the public. I'm extremely excited for it. So this is the first announcement that I made about that. And had a lot of projects going on, so it's delayed me. I've had some delays, but I'm excited for it to be out. All right, we got a couple questions. Do you have any recommendations for easy-to-use software for doing podcasts? I used to podcast a few years ago, but want to go back into it. Yeah, great question. So, depending on what type of podcast you want to do, ultimately you want to do video and audio. Even if you're only going to start with audio, releasing it, still do video as well. StreamYard and Restream, these two platforms, which I had on the slide of broadcasting, right? These two platforms are fantastic. Natural Freedom League, my video podcast that I did with my partner John, we did this on StreamYard, on Restream and StreamYard. You can come in here, you can have up to 10 guests, right? You can lay out, you can have different layouts. I'm using StreamYard right now. So you can have overlays, you can have lower thirds and banners. You can have all this stuff. So you're essentially creating a podcast. Now, I can stream it live like I'm doing now, but then I can just use it as the studio aspect and just record and then download and then upload it to its respected platforms. So I'm going to recommend for you to definitely look into StreamYard and Restream. They're fantastic. Of course, you can use Skype, you can use Zoom, but they do not compare to StreamYard or Restream. Brandon Spencer, yep. StreamYard is a wonderful tool. I also use that. You can use StreamYard. You can use it for so many different methods. You can create audio and video podcasts. You can do presentations. You can do live shows. You can do meetings. You can do all kinds of stuff. It's fantastic. Oh, nice. I've seen people use that on YouTube. Didn't know you can use it as a studio like that. Yes, absolutely you can. Absolutely you can. I mean, here, I'll put it this way. Here's a very simple, some of the one-on-ones that I've been doing, I've been creating different like plans for someone. And that all depends on how much resource they want to put into it and their experience level. You can get a subscription like StreamYard or Restream, right? You can pay, they have multiple plans, right? But let's say $30 is a plan, and that'll let you stream to 5 platforms. Or you can do the $15 one, or you can do the free plan, right? It all depends on resources as well. But you subscribe, you have a StreamYard or a Restream subscription. Then you go to Canva, which you can use Canva for free, or you can pay $12 a month for Canva Pro, which gives you a plethora amount of options. Those 2 subscriptions, now you're making the ability to make graphics, presentations, animations, posts, social media posts. You have access to print material, live streams. I mean, those 2 subscriptions right there, you're ready to go. Absolutely. You know, things that I didn't even touch on in the technical realm are microphones, audio interface, webcams, this kind of stuff, right? It's good to have that 0 point and start where you're at, right? I mean, here's something that I should have talked about because it's vital. Donations, money, resources. I understand a lot of people, you know, money is a religion for people, but you cannot do the one great work if you do not have resources, right? I mean, sure, you could do it for free, but I can't quit my 9 to 5 and do this type of work full time because, yes, unfortunately, in the current condition that we're in, we need fiat currency to survive. So, and I appreciate all the donations that I've gotten from everyone. I appreciate the donations I got yesterday from my presentation. I mean, I'm extremely appreciate that. If I can get to a level where I can just work my 9 to 5, my construction business part-time, holy shit, the amount of content I can do is amazing. My point being is that you have to start somewhere. Don't be afraid to ask for donations. If someone values your work, they're going to send you a donation. There's nothing wrong with that because, you know, if you don't have a microphone, you might have to start with just your phone or a cheap microphone or a cheap webcam and work your way up, right? Starting is the important part. Breaking free of that inertia and creating momentum to progress to forward direction. This is what we need. What's up, Dennis? Substack has the ability to podcast built right in. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that. I intend to start translating Mark's verbal presentations into written text here with the ability to comment and podcast and perhaps live discussions even. Awesome, Dennis. Yeah, good seeing you, brother. Dennis is active. I love it. I love it. Your 2 courses will be great and necessary. I'm working on that idea in German. Good luck. Oh, my man. My man, Thomas. To Marcy. Hope I'm saying that right. My man. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. And absolutely, it is definitely necessary, man. And I'm glad you're working on that in other languages. If someone speaks multiple languages, that's fantastic. We need the world. Well said, Hexproof. Money isn't everything, yet money is needed. That's right. That's right. For sure. I know I live by the law of Gebo, right? From the Norse rune, which is receiving and giving, right? It's all about energy exchange. So I have donated actual tech to content creators that are getting started. I've donated microphones, spare equipment that I've had laying around. I've donated to other content creators. I try to do that as much as possible, right? So it's good. We need support. We need to support each other. Elevator patch. Will you be requesting help for the new project? Oh, thank you. Thanks for the offer. What do you What do you mean by help? You have a skill set or something that are you referring to? Another topic, networking and collaborating, extremely important. Network and collaborating from a software point of view. StreamYard and Restream works great. Like I was saying, I mean, I do my one-on-one meetings and calls right here on StreamYard. You can send someone a private link, and then you can converse with people, video or just audio, whatever you like. But, I teamed up with my partner, John. This is someone that wanted to do the One Great Work, and me as well. And we came together to create Natural Freedom League. So I think networking and collaborating is fantastic. And people should do that. And people can do that. That's one pathway. It's ultimately understanding yourself and what direction that you want to go. There's an unlimited amount of pathways to do the One Great Work, right? Dance. I mean, there's an unlimited amount of creative expression, but also on topics as well, right? It's very crucial to focus on objective morality and natural law, but that can be intersected into many topics. Health, all different categories of education. Research and digital work. Excellent. Yeah, email me, man. Actually, email me. I'll put up my link tree is right there. Linktree/Will Keller. My direct email is there. Send me an email. Let's converse. Let me know. Let me know what type of skill sets you had. For my 2-course, I'm working on the second half. It is video and slides. And I definitely I'm incorporating some download links for actual resources. So yeah, there will be some research material there. It's been a tedious project. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be my magnum opus is what I'm hoping for, right? And then I'll work on to the next projects. I have multiple projects in the work. I've since the Seed 5. I've shifted on this 2-part course because I've been working on it for a couple years. I need to wrap it up. It was my initial idea when I decided to go public. So be on the lookout. I'll be promoting that soon. All right, my brothers and sisters, I appreciate you guys tuning in, supporting, sticking with me. I hope you found value. I hope I gave you some sort of inspiration. Remember to go check out the onegreatworknetwork.com, which we are live right now. Also, the FUNL Conference, FUNL 3 was a huge success. You can go back and check out the replays at freedomundernaturallaw.com. My link tree again. And feel free to connect with me. Oh, Hexproust asked a question. Let me get you in there, brother. Let me see. Let me see where that is. Did I miss it? You couldn't tell if it was live or pre-recorded. No, yeah, it is live. I'm using OBS Studio along with StreamYard. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I missed that, brother. So, do we have any kind of network or forum where we can discuss possible collaborations on projects? Good question. You mean like a network or forum with people that understand the One Great Work and natural law to discuss? Well, I would say, the social media platforms like Facebook have areas where people discuss that. How to become the true media. One of the benefits of doing that course is the networking and the collaboration. There's the pre-class with Mark, and there's the after class when Mark hops off, and for 2 hours everyone's networking. But again, that's from the class, so that's private. Go to my link tree and go to the Telegram. There's the FUNL Telegram forum where people converse, and again, there's Facebook, which the reason why I'm promoting Facebook, the Mark Passio Natural Law, is because I've been an admin of that forum. So there's the Messenger forum as well, and there's also just the actual platform. There's also the FUNL Telegram and the Mark Passio Natural Law Telegram as well. So the FUNL Telegram is great for collaborating. It doesn't have that many people on there yet, but now that you said that, maybe I need to incorporate a personal community that I start, and I can put my insights in there for viewership for y'all, right? So we can all collaborate, create a community, and I can learn from you guys, and you guys can learn from me, and we can converse and collaborate. I would love to do that. I think that's important, right? We're nodes of freedom. And, as we each kind of step into that public realm, we're creating a community within oneself. And that's important, connection. Unity is in community. So we need to do that. That's a great question. I am interested in doing voice acting. So if anyone doing the great work is in need of voice talent, I can help. Hexproof, that's great, man. That's awesome. Another good method is creating short videos, right? So you have the visual aspect, and then you put your voice, just the audio over it. So you're creating like a mini movie. You could do it, for 7 to 10 minutes. They're short little clips. What is the state of humanity? Could be the topic. And then, you write out the script, and then you actually perform the audio. You say it over a video. I mean, especially with AI now, where AI can literally take video clips and edit up and make the actual video for you, where you just lay the audio. Again, you want to activate that creative expression, but that's one way to do it. How to become the true media groups are my first thought. I can't recommend how to become the true media more. And I am shameless plug. I am plugging. Absolutely. It's a mind-blowing class. I mean, I'm on my 4th year, and I'm still learning new stuff from Mark. I'm constantly learning new stuff from the participants. This is one of my favorite things, is interacting with the people. The questions that the classmates ask, it's great. And Mark appreciates it as well. He talks about that all the time. He learns from the classmates as well. I mean, it's just a fantastic seminar, and it can be applied in life itself. So absolutely, for sure. Do it, please. Yeah, I am going to do that. I'm working on a Patreon as well, where it has a couple tiers, very, very small tiers for people to support, which we're also going to have a roundtable discussion with the patrons, and one-on-ones available for patrons as well. So I'm in the works of creating a lot of stuff. It's good to be back live streaming. I love live streaming. I love interacting with the viewership. I hope you guys dig it as well, and we'll do some more. Absolutely. So I'm going to wrap it up. I appreciate you all. Agape, seek truth and speak truth, and I will see you on the next go round. Thank you all. One love. Later. I'm going to take you guys out with a song, some freedom music from my good friend Mike Mattingly, the Funky Father. And this song is Put a Spell on You. You guys have a good night. One love.
Well, here come all the actors. This play has all been cast. Do not recognize them. Do not know the past. Wasn't so long ago, a different tale was told. The ancient script had been rewritten, no products are to be sold. Yeah, they got you where they want you. Yeah, they put a spell on you. They're scared by these illusions, this new spooky ad campaign. Everywhere you turn, it's always pounding in your brain. Do not go to beaches, do not breathe the ocean air. Yeah, they stole $6 trillion just to show how much they cares. Yeah, they got you where they want you. Yeah, they put a spell on you. Yeah, they got you where they want you. Oh, flipping through all them channels, programming mind control. Try to convince the world that the humans got no souls. Yeah, they're only flesh and blood. Yeah, they're only dirt and mud. Our lies conspire to douse the fire, inspire with the breath of life. Yeah, they got you where they want you. Yeah, they put a spell on you. More lockstep marching doctors with their dangling stethoscopes. Their science they claim the final solution, the only human hope. Or keep you from your neighbors, all muzzled up in the mask. Yeah, you take them off cause you got no cough, but you don't know who to ask. Yeah, they got you where they want you. Yeah, they put a spell on you. Yeah, they got you where they want you. Yeah, they put a spell on you. Oh, one thing is crystal clear. Can I live in fear? 'Cause if we do, the human spirit will surely disappear.
If you are intelligent, then you know that freedom is inherent, cause it's evident. It doesn't come from government, it don't come from the president, it comes from the creator of all universal elements. Some people say it's God-given, others say it's heaven-sent. No matter what you call it, natural law sets the precedent. Subjective morality's a fallacy. There's laws that we cannot see, like gravity, that people accept happily, but tragically they believe that freedom has to be granted to us magically by royalty or majesty. It's sad to see people willingly give up their liberty, cause they don't really see the enemy that's on a killing spree. The state, it hates sovereign individuals, cause those who follow natural law and abide by all its principles are mentally invincible, immune to the brainwash. We liberate ourselves and then help others break the chains off. We ain't soft, we go hard, like when the thunder hits. Guns and clips, ready in self-defense from the government and the elitists running it. Blast them all, claim our freedom standing under it. Natural law, the elitists running it. Blast them all, claim our freedom standing under it. Natural law. natural law for us all. Yeah, freedom under natural law for us all. Yeah, freedom under natural law for us all. What? For us all. What? Freedom for us all. What? You know what we do. Get big on FUNL.